Yeah, Tiki Barber's a great New York Giant that played his entire career with the New York Giants, had a wonderful career. So yesterday, Saquon Barkley, who had also spent his entire career with the New York Giants at the same position, both great all-time players. But Tiki now is a radio guy on WFAN, and when the word got out, he was now going to the rival Philadelphia Eagles, of course, hated in New York by the Giant fans. They said it with a smile. But if you're Saquon Barkley, two reasons you had to go. Number one, running backs don't make what they did in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And number two, Philadelphia is a significantly better place to land. First of all, they have a better quarterback, and that quarterback runs a lot. Jalen Hurts, that helps a running back. More deception, better offensive line, helps a running back. Two legitimate star receivers, meaning safeties can't crowd the box like they can in New York because they don't have one great receiver, and they always have tremendous tight end play in Philadelphia. How do you not go? It's very possible that Saquon Barkley will have significantly fewer touches and more production in New York. Oh, yeah, it's a better organization, and they win and get to Super Bowls. Plus, the Giants are to blame. A couple years ago, we said, franchise Daniel Jones, you probably have to pay Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones, nobody in that locker room thought the heart and the soul of the team was Daniel Jones. Everybody knew it was Saquon Barkley. And the Giants said, we're going to pay Daniel Jones. And now they're stuck. Next to Carolina, it is the weakest offense in the NFL. Saquon Barkley did not owe the New York Giants anything. And I think loyalty has limitations here. I mean, let's be honest. He's the fourth all-time leading running back, and that's with injuries and behind mostly awful offensive lines. Losing culture, bad quarterbacks where you can crowd the box. And he's still fourth all-time. And think about this. In the last 6 years, he spent 6 years in New York. He has over 7,000 total yards, again, with bad O-lines. Egregiously bad O-lines. No star receivers, really. And 47 touchdowns. Second to the Giants is a receiver, Darius Slayton, half the yards and about 35% of the touchdowns, 19. That's the second most productive player for the New York Giants. What do you want him to do? Direct your anger at ownership, the front office, climate change, gas prices, inflation, Joe Biden, wherever. You can't blame Saquon Barkley. But more than anything, this is ultimately the truth. Where do I say you go to the truth? You go to Vegas. Don't go to the media. They have agendas. They have favorites. Don't go to fans. They're emotional. Go to Vegas. You know what Vegas thinks? The Eagles' Super Bowl odds improved, signing a running back. For the record, the Steelers didn't, signing Russell Wilson. So Saquon Barkley was considered more helpful getting to a Super Bowl for Philadelphia, now they're a lot closer, than it was for the Steelers with Russell Wilson. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the value, Giants didn't appreciate him, but the superior franchise did. DraftKings Sportsbook did. The people who are paid to get it right did. The Giants didn't. Whose fault is that? Blame anybody you want. Don't blame Saquon. He had to go. It's a way better spot. He'll touch it less potentially and gain more. Less pounding on his body. That's what running backs should do. Go to the place where you can be productive and you don't have to be Derrick Henry, because most people aren't Derrick Henry. They're not that big and can't take that pounding. All right, Kirk Cousins, end of our show, goes to Atlanta. Not a big surprise. It's so funny. Now everybody today. Talk about a ceiling. Do you know the number one selling ice cream in America? It's not cookie dough. It's not bubble gum. It's not Rocky Road. It's vanilla. For the umpteenth straight year. You can have it with pie, espresso, solo, in a cup, in a sundae. It works. I know, but if you order it, if you ever go out with anybody, 3 or 4 people, you get vanilla. Everybody turns to you and goes, so boring, vanilla. Yesterday, I had a vanilla latte, not a cookie dough latte, not a brownie madness latte. I had a vanilla latte. It was fantastic. You know, Kirk Cousins is like you go to Europe and on the 4th or 5th day, you just order McDonald's because it's familiar. It tastes great. The bottom line is, you know my point. You know what you're getting with Kirk Cousins. A committed adult, low turnovers, high accuracy, doesn't miss many starts. Teammates like him, so do coaches, virtually egoless. And he's much more productive than everybody thinks. Did you know since he is signed with the Vikings, I think you'll be surprised by this. 2018, since he signed with the Vikings, J-Mac, 3rd in passing touchdowns, again, with a couple of shaky O-lines. And at one point, Mike Zimmer, defensive coach, 3rd in passing touchdowns and tied for 3rd in passer ratings. And you all wanted Justin Fields? We're not sure he can play the position. Yes, he's boring, but you know what you get, and it's much better than you think. And it works well with tight ends, running backs, decent O-lines, and wide receivers. Everybody thinks they can do a whole lot better than Kirk Cousins. And yet the Chicago Bears, with a history over 100 years, have never once had a quarterback as good as Kirk Cousins. Look it up. No, they haven't. Bears, not once. The NFL is the only business in America that always, every year, has a labor shortage. There's about 7 to 8 teams every year that need a highly functioning quarterback. And that's exactly why Kirk Cousins keeps getting paid. Because he's probably like a Dak Prescott in that 11th, 12th, 13th best quarterback in the league. Dak's making a lot of money. Kirk Cousins making a lot of money. They're monetizing their position, and they're both about, statistically, the exact same player. Kirk's more accurate. Dak's more mobile. And Dak's got the star on the side of the helmet. You can say it's boring. You can say he's vanilla. You always get laughed at when you choose it when you go out with friends for ice cream. But consider this. The Washington Commanders, since Kirk Cousins left, have the 27th best win percentage in the NFL. Well, it's not Kirk. And the Vikings have made the playoffs several times. And Kirk Cousins against Aaron Rodgers and what we view as the superior organization and the superior quarterback. Every 2 times they played, Kirk beat Aaron once. Call it boring. I call it productive, dependable, committed, an adult. Yeah, he's not carrying a trophy home. Very few people not named Patrick Mahomes are carrying a trophy home. Lamar can't win back-to-back playoff games, and we love him. Josh Allen can't get to a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins wins. He's efficient, productive. If you love Dak, you can't tell me Kirk Cousins can't play. Their statistics are identical. I don't love either. I like both. They're grown-ups, good at the podium, win games. And Minnesota said, hey, we like you too. We don't like you 45 large a year. I mean, Dak's going to make 55 large a year. But for Atlanta and this team and these kids in that division, he's got tremendous, tremendous value. Again, you can't love Dak and think Kirk can't play. Kind of the same quarterback. The difference is Atlanta's not the Cowboys or Minnesota. They're not a consistently winning franchise. Meaning, to get there in this sport that has a perpetual labor shortage at quarterback, Kirk has value.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.